Hi there, it's Vivian here in London. Today I'm going to talk about face pots I've collected for 5 years. Yes, you heard correctly, face pots. So what are they? Let me show you what I mean. It is basically a pottery pot with a face on it. Some pots have two faces, front and back, and some pots have only one front face. And most of them have rather funny faces, comic expressions. I only have 10 pots, so I can't really generalize this, but at least all the pots I have, they have a connection with food, especially vegetables. So you might think, what's so special about them? They are collectible items around the world, mainly because of their rarity. Sadly enough, the original companies that produced these pots, they do not exist anymore, as new material called plastic took place of the pottery in the 20th century. I bought my first pot for £6 at the Chichi carpet sale, that is in West London, 5 years ago. That was also the first time I've ever visited carpet sale in the UK. Since that time, visiting carpet sale, antique fairs, charity shops have become my new passion. One thing I didn't pay attention while collecting them was their brand. I thought they were from the same company as they look similar. But while studying about them, I realized they are actually from 4 different companies. It was my friends visiting our house who made me think maybe I need to do a little bit of research about the pots. So I started reading articles and books online and joined a Facebook club called SylvaC Collectors. And guess what? I've learned so much about the history of pottery works and the brands. And that knowledge made me look at my collections from a different angle and definitely made me appreciate them more. And the clue was the impressed mark at the bottom of the pottery from the beginning. Without further ado, I will show you my 10 pots. This is an applesauce pot from SylvaC. The top lid has a cut branch and a leaf as decoration, and it's written applesauce in front. Round with a cute smiley face, this pot has probably the most beautiful color glazing on all the pots I have. At the bottom, name of the pot, mold, brand name, and where it's made are all impressed. The pot is slightly smaller than other face pots, perhaps because it was for sauce. This beetroot pot is from Sadler. You can see it's beetroot from its color. Its nose and cheeks are round, and shape of a mouth reminds me of marionette. Sadler face pots have dual faces, and they have very distinctive face expressions. I think I can spot Sadler pots when they are mixed with others. They look mischievous and a little bit angry. I think it's because of their eyebrows, which look like waves or Ionic pillar decoration which you see in Greek architecture. At the bottom, there is a simple mark saying Sadler, England. It's from between 1960s and 70s. They have handles on both sides, or ears I have to say, which are quite stable to hold. Top lid handle is big enough to hold it stable. The letter beetroot is handwritten and it's not embossed from the background, unlike other pots. This chutney pot is from Price&Kensington, and it's a bit different from all the others. I mean, other pots have characters or shape of the vegetables they resemble, but chutney can be made from anything. It has some flower shape on the lid and top handle, but I really cannot guess what it is. Anyone knows? This pot has matte finish unlike other glossy glazing pots, and on the lid, chutney in bold and big character is written. You cannot possibly not to notice. Like applesauce pot, its size is slightly smaller than other pots. At the bottom there are double marks. On top there is impressed mark written Made in England, P&K. And just below that there is another stamp mark of Price&Kensington and its typical reef pattern around. This is bread sauce pot from SylvaC. The most distinctive character of this pot is that nothing is symmetric. It's completely opposite of the apple pot, so you need to be careful when you handle it. The brown lid reminds me of the oven-baked donut. It's really convincingly puffed. The color of the lower bowl is light yellow, and it's like fresh dough. It gives fluid impression. If you make a perfectly smiley face with dough and pull one side out, it will probably look like this. At the bottom there is a name, mold number, brand name, and where it's made. This is onion pot from Price&Kensington. The whole shape is round and it has really tiny handles at both sides. Like other Price&Kensington face pots, this pot also has dual faces. From crying face, you can sense it's for onions. This pot has the biggest eyes and eyebrows, but somehow it looks a bit sleepy. Doesn't look like a face crying from peeling onions. This is the first face pot I bought, and I loved its round and cute faces. You don't see from the video very well, but it has green glazing color. At the bottom, Price&Kensington, Made in England are handwritten before glazing the pot. This pickled onion pot is from Toni Raymond Pottery. The pot captures painful moments of peeling onions really well. And at the top handle on the lid, there is a green onion tip, which I love. The shape is round, but unlike applesauce pot, its surface is not perfectly smooth. Following the brown skins, the pot shape has little bumps and dented shapes. I think the moss looking green shade provides this pot a characteristic. At the bottom, there is Toni Raymond Pottery's stamp, slightly smudged, but still clear enough to read. The pot is quite different in style from other onion pots, so it makes me wonder how Toni Raymond's other face pots look like. Can you guess this pot brand from its wavy eyebrows? Yes, it's from Sadler. Similar to beetroot pot I showed you earlier, this pot also has round and raised cheeks, a nose, and marionette-like mouth. It has round handles at the sides, and cut onion patterns are repeated in eyes and nose. This pot is not crying, and it looks pretty serious. At the bottom it's written Sadler and made in England, clearly. This mark is not a dirt or scratch. It's from glazing process, so I think this cannot be a graded pot. But do I love less? Of course not. This is a cucumber pot from Price&Kensington. Although I have to say, I wouldn't have a clue unless this lid has cucumber letters on it. As a person who loves cucumber, can anyone tell me why cucumber face should look like this? The pot has really dark green color, like real cucumbers, but unfortunately it's too dark to show its details well. I love their pixie ears. The pot has dual faces, and like bread sauce pot from SylvaC, eyes, nose and mouth are all twisted. I think the saver for this pot is its lid. Without the lid, you wouldn't know if it's a cucumber, would you? This onion pot is from SylvaC. Most of the onion pots are crying, so you can tell they are onions. I noticed the SylvaC face pots do not have ears, which also serve as handles. Instead, it gives a round, cute look. This pot has lovely yellow and brown glazing and has a smooth surface. The bottom mark is not clear as the other two pots, but still can read everything there. Onion mold number 516, SylvaC, made in England, it's written. The whole shape is a squeezed ball from top, and it gives a sense of stability. Last onion pot is from Royal Doulton. Among all the pots I have, this has the most realistic face and shape, with its petite ears. It sounds a bit crazy, but the size and the shape makes me believe somehow I'm holding a baby head. Without the lid, it really looks like one. Unfortunately, Renato, my husband, broke the body a few years ago by mistake. He glued the pieces together, but whenever I see the cracks, I'm pretty upset. The crack is at the back, so at least you don't see that from the front. At the bottom, Royal Doulton is stamped rather faintly. This pot almost looks glossy from video, but actually it's between glossy and matte. In terms of shape, details and glazing, I think this pot beats all the others. It's just broken, but nothing serious. As I said earlier, these pots are from 4 different companies, so I grouped them here. First group is SylvaC. For a long time, that name, to me, didn't sound like a British company, and there was a reason. The company was founded 1894 by William Copestake and William Shaw, and their company was called Copestake and Shaw. S in SylvaC stands for Shaw and C at the end for Copestake, S and C. So it's important C at the end stays as capital. Also, the name of the company's pottery was the Sylvan Works, so maybe there is another connection to it. Today, the SylvaC company is known for their figurines of animals, especially rabbits and dogs. But the name wasn't in use until mid-1930s. I don't know what happened exactly, but in 1895, a year after the company was founded, Copestake left the company and Richard Hall became Shaw's new business partner. I guess Copestake didn't leave on bad terms because his name stayed on. When one door is closed, another door opens elsewhere. Richard Hall had rich experience in pottery trading overseas, so he developed the export business of the company. And later his son became a new partner of Shaw in 1935, and the company became a limited company in the following year. Until the company voluntarily chose liquidation in 1982, the SylvaC produced a variety of potteries and they enjoyed commercial profit from the sale. But because the company disappeared, the SylvaC products are not produced anymore. And funny enough, since that moment, more people became interested in them and they've become collectible items now. Each of the SylvaC pottery has a model number at the bottom, but when the company went busted, their record was lost too. But mind you, SylvaC pottery was never designed to be fine art or luxury items. So although they are collectibles, they are quite affordable. So for example, the face pots I purchased so far, they are between 7 to 15 pounds, and very rarely, a few items are between 50 to 80. The pots I would like to have in the future is called tartar sauce pot. And this is one of the expensive items because I saw the price online is between 70 to 85. But let me tell you, when I have a good deal, I'm going to have this. Second group is from Price&Kensington, in short P&K. Dating back to 1896, Price&Kensington was a traditional ceramic tableware company in Longport, which is also in Stoke-on-Trent. The name comes from two different companies, Price Brothers and Kensington Pottery Limited. They were subsidiaries of a bigger firm called Arthur Wood Group. In 1962, the two companies merged and formed Price&Kensington, and they were prolific manufacturers of everyday earthenware such as teapots, coffee sets, novelty items, and souvenirs. The face pots I have are from 1960s. Then 2003, the Arthur Group went into administration due to financial difficulty, and a few of their brand names such as Arthur Wood, Price&Kensington, and Pristine were sold to Layware Group. The name Price&Kensington still continues as part of the Layware Group, but they don't produce face pots anymore, and the factory is abroad, typically China. And the third group is from Sadler. The company name is James Sadler and Sons Limited, and it was founded in 1882 by James Sadler, no surprise, also in Stoke-on-Trent. I don't know much about teapots, but it seems Sadler made many novelty-shaped teapots, such as racing cars or tanks, and they enjoyed popularity. But from the late 1990s, the company cut back production more than half and outsourced overseas. But in 2000, it went into administration anyway, and Churchill China bought Sadler's brand name and their designs. And lastly, one of my onion pots is from Toni Raymond Pottery. It's this one. Unlike other companies which were founded in Stoke-on-Trent, Toni Raymond Pottery was established in Torquay, Devon in 1951. But unfortunately, I couldn't find much information about the pottery. So what do you think about my collection? Don't you agree they're cute and a little bit quirky? Well, I like quirky things in general, and I can tell you in Britain there are so many quirky things. I hope I can introduce some of them as a separate videos later. So if you have face pot yourself, or if you have more information about the pots I have, or simply if you liked my video, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear what you guys think. Until next time, bye!